Guys, so if you are in my sewing group page on Facebook, which is called Sewing to Fashion, then you would know that we had a discussion recently where the topic was, what do you struggle with as a designer? So a lot of you guys have asked me questions and wanted answers, so I thought it would be cool to do a video answering those questions for you guys. And I'm just going to go off of my phone and just kind of go through all of the questions and answer. Okay, so for the remainder of this video, I'm gonna be filming in the car. I didn't want to delay this video, kind of want to just put it out there for you guys. So if you don't mind, I'll be filming in the car because it was like way too hot in the room I was filming in with all the studio lights around me. And even though it's like fall now, it still feels like summer. So yeah, I'm gonna just go off my phone and answer you guys questions. So one of the frequently asked questions was how much to charge yourself hourly as a seamstress. The basic starting price point is about $10 an hour. You can charge yourself more than that, but I definitely don't suggest charging yourself less than that. I feel like anything less than $10 is basically undercharging yourself. So yeah, about $10 an hour as a seamstress. So next question is how much to charge for garments. So I cannot stress this enough. Always have a cost sheet. Whether you are making the garments yourself or you are getting them wholesale, you need to know how much you are spending to get these garments and how much you're going to profit off of. So if you are making the garment, you need to know how much it's going to cost for, of course, the fabric, notions such as thread, needles, fabric paper, buttons, zippers, and all that stuff. Also gas, like, are you driving 20 plus miles to get this particular fabric because only this one store have it? So that's another thing where I believe a lot of not only fashion designers but business owners as well undercharge themselves. So for example, I had this friend who was a fashion designer. She was just starting off. She made her first sale selling a beautiful tennis dress made with lace fabric for about $30. Now, even though she did make that sale, she didn't make any money. This is the reason why. She got the fabric, which she needed about 2 yards for it because she lined it. So that's about $10 a yard, and she got about 2 yards. And not only that, she had to get the zippers and buttons and all that stuff. So not only that, but just for her to get the fabric cost her over $10 because $10 in gas because the place was over 40 miles away. So she drove a distance to get this fabric. So in reality, she didn't make she made a $0 profit, but I will say she lost out on money because not only that, she wasn't compensated for her time, which was making the garment. She had to use pattern paper to even get the pattern, make out her pattern for the dress, and cutting, all that, cutting, pinning, that is time. So yeah, know how much to charge yourself hourly and know how to make a profit off the garment. This next question actually came from one of my friends, Latoya. So she asked how much to price as a stylist because she's into styling and selling garments and stuff. So a lot of stylists will charge themselves by the day. A lot of them can make from $500 to $600 a day, or even $1,000 an hour. And honestly, it also depends on what kind of garments are you providing. As a stylist, are you providing like stuff from Forever 21, or are you providing garments from like Michael Costello or Betsy Johnson? So yeah, I think as a stylist starting off, you probably want to start off around $100 or more, and from there work your way up. And that way also, once you get kind of the hang of things, you can start pulling garments from showrooms, from different designer, pricing out their rates of how much they're going to charge you to even pull the garments, and then you can have more of a price quote for like photographers and people who want to use you to style you for stuff. So the next question is from Raven Ray, and she's asked, how do you be confident with your prices when most people that's buying don't have much money to pay those prices? How do you adjust without hindering yourself with pricing, the competition within the sewing industry now? a major one. What's the difference between being inspired by someone's work and copying? What's the borderline between that? I see a lot of people arguing about who's stolen what. So that's what I got for now. Okay, so to answer the first question about being confident in your prices is, well, when I first started off, I made profit off my garments, but I felt that looking back now, I could have made even a bigger profit. That's because I feel that I was undercharging myself, because I was scared that people would reject me, because if I charged too much, they wouldn't want to pay those prices. So now that I have grown as a fashion designer, I realize that I kind of stuck to that quote, know your worth. I feel that as a designer, you got to know who you are and stand to what you believe in. I put a lot of work in my garment. I make everything from scratch, which will go from sourcing, which is me going out to get everything to even make that garment, starting from scratch with the patterns, pinning, and I even design some of my own fabrics. So I know that if they're not getting it from me, they're not going to get it anywhere else. So yeah, so stick to this quote, know your worth. So yeah, I got better as a designer, and I realized like I'm just as good as a lot of these high fashion, well-known designers in the industry. So that's when I started bumping up my prices, especially when people were bringing it to my attention of how good I was, and they was comparing me to a lot of these well-known designers. So that was kind of scary, but I started to not only bump up my prices, but realize who my audiences was and who I wanted to cater to. So that's why I started networking more, going to events where there's people who are in the industry, and people who are not only willing to invest in you, but to invest in your business because they like what you have to offer. So the difference between copying and being inspired by someone's work, well, the fashion rule is if you are inspired by another designer work, is to change 10% of their garment. So the thing is to not copy, but change 10% and kind of make it your own. But in fashion, it's kind of hard to be original because a lot of fashion repeats itself. So stuff you haven't seen for probably like 1,000 years ago, it repeats. A lot of designers now are getting inspired from stuff that was done way before their time. So I personally believe that it's hard to be original, like a gown. Like, who invented the gown? So it's really hard. But as a designer, you're just going to kind of stick to your own style and know who you are as a designer so that you don't look like a replica of another designer. So if you are inspired by another designer and you like a certain look, change it up a bit. Change the fabric, maybe add a zipper here, add a keyhole there, and make it your own if it's like a dress or something that you like. So I know on Instagram you always see a lot of replicas, especially from places overseas. They'll sell like replicas, but also I think as a designer that know how to make garments, you will come across clients that want you to copy a dress. So the decision is on you to who you are as a designer. Are you down to copy, or are you going to tell them, well, I can't copy, but I could change about 10% and make it my own? So yeah, the fashion rule, change 10%. A lot of people do copy. I mean, there's no copywritten rule for that, but yeah, that's fashion, that's life. So another question is about time management. I don't have my agenda on me right now, it's in the house, but I usually have my agenda or this a 5 subject notebook. I like to stay organized because I'm the type of person where if you tell me something, I'll probably forget 5 minutes later or forget right after you just told me. So for me, it's really important that I keep an agenda because I just can't keep up with everything that I have during the day. So not only do I go to school, but I run a business. And not only do I run a business, I do this YouTube stuff. So I do the YouTube stuff inside and outside of YouTube. So I'm home filming and I'm actually at the actual YouTube building like every week. So my schedule is pretty crazy. And then I'm a dancer, so I'm always at the studio dancing and filming. And then I'm a photographer, so I do photo shoots. And I'm not really a makeup artist, but I used to get booked to do makeup for stuff, and I used to have to do the makeup for my own models before I had like a team of people helping me. So with time management, I say you just gotta figure out what time during the day are you going to be free to even sew. So sometimes for me, I know if I'm not going to get a garment done in a day, if I know that I have like an hour or two to spare, I would take that hour in that day to just cut out all the pieces. The next hour for the next day would be me pinning all the pieces, and then the next day would be me sewing all the pieces, and the last day would probably be me hemming everything, and then I'm done. Agenda would help you be organized within your day. I can go so much into time management, but I hate making long videos, so I would put more about time management on my blog, and I'm pretty sure that would help you tremendously. So another question was, when should you quit your job to be a full-time fashion designer? So honestly, there's not really a specific time when you should do that. I honestly just think you should do it whenever you feel that you are ready to. Last year, I was, okay, making noise. So last year I was really going through it. I was stressing because I was running an online store on Etsy, which was doing pretty well. And then I was getting tired because I was getting off work at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I had class at like 7. So in order for me to be at class, I had to be up at like 5:30 so I can get parking and then be in class on time. So it was really stressful for me, and I was barely getting any sleep. So I knew right then, like, okay, I'm making more money with the fashion, so I think it's time for me to quit my job now. So that's when I quit my job and became a full-time fashion designer, and it was probably like the best decision I ever made in my life, and I'm so happy and so grateful that I have so many people supporting me, including you guys. And yeah, I mean, you just gotta know whenever you feel that you're ready and you feel that you'll be okay financially if you do quit your job, then that's how you know like it's time, you know. Hey guys, so I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment area below, and I'll see you next week for a new video. Bye.